Hi, and welcome back to Comic Book Gallery. I'm your host, Joaquin. How we doing today, people? Give me a second to walk on stage. Today, I want to talk about. I once, when I was in South- when I was in Southern, I once when I was in Southern California, I got a chance to visit this place called Frank and Son. So, if you're in the LA area and you're into collecting comic books or statues or even play Magic the Gathering, this place is famous. My camera, what I recorded, didn't turn out that well. I didn't like the sound. So I'm not going to show you what I did, but hopefully on the next trip I'll be able to. So I had $100 budget. And as you can see, I picked up some books. But we'll just start off with this guy first. Rawr. So this Star Wars pop I picked up for $20 plus tax. And the reason why I picked it up is because the box was damaged. Box is damaged. Box is damaged. But who cares? Sand Trooper and Dewback sold. 20 bucks sold. So when I finally do settle down and find a place to to live, I will be having this in the background along with the other pops, and I just wanted to have an interesting background. That's why I picked this up. And for 20 bucks, you can't pass it up. When it comes to pops, I'm just a collector. So I don't care about the box condition as much because I'm not looking for it as resale value. I just thought it would be cool to have this. So let's get to the comics that I did pick up. So you're like, okay, you spent $80 on Groo comics? No, but if I had $80 to spend on Groo comics, I would do it in a heartbeat. And for those of you who have collected in the 80s and consider yourself a comic book collector, should know about Groo the Wanderer. This guy was really funny back in the days. He's still fully funny now. So for those of you who are new to collecting comics, this is a book that you could find in $1 to $2 bins. And their book's definitely worth getting. I think I spent like 2 or 3 a piece on these. And like $1 a piece on these other ones. Or maybe at the $2 on the this is issue 6. And here's Sage. And what's cool about Groo, so Groo's like the best fighter in the entire world, or at least in this world that's been created. But he's also like one of the dumbest persons too. But he has somewhat of a good heart. So Groo only lives for 2 things: to eat and to fight. And so whenever Groo stumbles upon a battle, he immediately takes one side until convinced otherwise. That's all he cares about. He just cares about fighting. And these people, apparently, these people right here who he attacked are the people who are being like invaded. So they tell him that he's an idiot, that he should be helping them, attack the other people. And Groo's like, oh, I didn't know that. And they're trying to stop them from, I want to say that they're poaching. So these people over here were attacking their elephants and just taking them. And so he was trying to stop all that. And at one point, they tell Groo that he could get rich off the ivory trade. So he charges an elephant, and then you see he gets beat up. So that's just a little sample of stuff that Groo does. Let's see. Oh. So at one, they introduce a character named Sage, and there's a lot of characters, okay? Now this is a side story about Sage. Okay. Now in this story, he is tricked into curing the king. And the queen lets him know that if he is not able to cure the king, then he's going to die. So all the other physicians, they're all happy to see that he's there and he's going to take the downfall for it. So what he does is he comes up with a clever idea. I hope you're able to see all that. So he pushes the king out the window by dragging him out and then pushing him out the window. And then he goes to the door. And he's like, "No, your majesty, I know you are happy I cured you. But do not dance around like that. Do not dance so near the window. Look out. No." And then everybody comes running in. "It's awful. I healed him fully. And he felt so fine. He frolicked right out the window. What a shock." And so now he's just marching past the queen and everybody, trying to keep up this ruse so they don't verify what he did. "I'm horrified to think that I made him well, only to see him throw his reborn life away in a tragedy that could not be prevented. No, no, do not beg me to become court physician. I shall never doctor again after this. Do not tend to me your regrets, queen. Farewell." And he usually, when it comes to the sage, they usually have some kind of moral at the end of it, and all Groo issues. "The secret of survival is fast thinking and making sure the dead die where and when you want them." So, little anecdote there, but this is what I've always enjoyed about Groo. He's got some really interesting characters, and he has a sister. There's this other fighter who I'm going to show you, and he's like a really cool fighter, but he's so arrogant, he hardly ever really helps somebody because all he's doing is just basking in his glory. And there's a really funny character called the Minstrel. Let me see if I can pull out something real quick. I'm trying to keep this video real quick. Plus, I want to show you the 2 keys that I picked up. But this is a funny read. I mean, I know I'm not making it sound that funny, but oh. Okay, so at one point, Groo becomes his lackey, okay? And they find upon these bandits who they're looking for. And the first thing Arcadio does is he's like, "There are many of them, and I am but one. There are many of them, and but one of I." This calls for the most brilliant strategy. And Groo's like, "This could take forever." And then the minstrel starts singing, "See the hero so supreme, planning out his battle scheme." Groo's like, "Oh no." And so Groo's like, "Oh, he's planning out a scheme? Well, I gotta go over there and start fighting them." So it's Groo against the bandits. "A swordsman charging us, just him against all of us? This is an act of stupidity and suicide." And then one guy's like, "Must be Groo." So Groo takes them all on, beats them all down, because he's after this goblet. And right here, he's talking to the minstrel, right? Groo's beating up everybody and fighting them. And he's like, "Stay here, roving minstrel. I have decided on a frontal assault." And Groo's like, "First you, then you, then you." Everyone gets their chance to taste the blade of Groo. And then it goes back to him. "Though maybe a rear flank would be even more brilliant of my part." And then, while Groo's still fighting, "I know a lateral assault. They stand no chance against me." And now the minstrel picks back up. "The hero now is ready. It's time to make a stance. He soon will have the goblet in his strong heroic hand." And he's like, "Give me the goblet or else," at the end. So while he's doing all these preps, Groo does all the work. And he goes, "I'm ready. Where is my lackey?" He's like, "Oh, Groo, you Grooed? Indeed, put the silly goblet of Terrell and gather herbs in case I need." And then he's like, "Oh, never mind. I found my quest." So, Groo runs into all these type of stories, and he's usually the butt of jokes and bad things go his way, but he tries to do the right thing. And like I said, he's the best fighter in the world. So it ends with The Minstrel. We head now for a kingdom which is far off in the distance. The great Arcadio has won with minimal assistance. The goblet of Terrell he has, his highness will reward him. For once again the heroes prove why everyone adores him. There's something about your appearance, lackey. You look like you've just been through a war. He's like, sorry. And then they have a moral. History is made by the winners and written by those with the loudest voice. Which is so true when you think about today's political climate. So, they're little just samples of Groo. You really have to read through the whole book to start appreciating. But for those of you who collected comics in the 80s, this was like a must. I mean, a lot of people read Groo. I was in high school when I got introduced to him. And number 15. And here's his sister. And here's a story where he remembers him and his sister as a kid. And now to the two books that I spent the majority of my money on. So we have X-Men 135. And it's, Defeat by the Dark Phoenix. And I want to say I paid like $30 or $35. So I would like you to get a chance to really sink in this cover. I think it's a good cover. And I don't recall seeing any little blemishes on here. So I want to say this is at least probably fine to an 8.5. And I think I'll do my research on this book. I don't know if I want to take this to get graded right away, because there are other books I have, but I was really happy about this pickup. And then I was able to pick up 105, which has Firestar, or Firelord in it. And I wanted to say I paid like 30 or 35. So all in all, between these two, this is 80. Spent 20 on Groo comics, give or take. I thought it was a good pickup. I just want to look to see if I don't know if you can see that, but right around there. Little ticks in the spine, but I do like the cover. I thought it was good and nice, crisp. And it's the Frenzy, and Firelord. Phoenix alone against the most fearsome foe of all. So, I was able to add these to my collection. And for those of you who have been watching my videos know that I have a quest of 100 to 300 that I want to collect those, and then I'm almost there. So I have currently from runs 40 up to 200, and I've been acquiring some of the keys past 200, so collecting from 2 to 300 is not a big issue. But once I get 100 to 200, I'm going to go back and start looking at all the major keys and getting those in the best condition that I can. So that'll do it, people. I just wanted to show you what I picked up when I went to Frankensons. If you're in Southern California or you ever get a chance to go in the LA area, just look it up. It's a great place to go to find collectibles, comic books, statues, Magic the Gathering, you name it, they got it. And that'll do it. If you like what you see, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, what's up? And hit the subscribe button if you want to learn about comic books. And on the weekends, I do Magic the Gathering related videos. And the weekends are kind of like a free-for-all, but I try to do Magic the Gathering videos. Also, on Thursdays, because I'm an artist, I do Sketchbook Thursdays, and I promote my Patreon page, which is Comicbook, one word, and Gallery. I currently have an eBay account, which I will be adding more comic books to right now. And this one's on eBay. It's called Comic-Book-Gallery. And that'll do it. I hope you enjoyed this video and have a good day. You take care, people. And one more last look at this book. These were really good back in the days. I don't plan on reading these books until I get, a run of one, for example, the 30s. Once I have all the 30s, then I usually read the run. Now it's a little bit too much of a glare, but all right, that'll do it, people. Take care.